Did you know that the average TikTok user spends 1 hour and 30 minutes on the app every day? Or that when you laugh at a certain video, TikTok knows that you like it and will start showing the same video or the same idea of the video on your For You page. And that's not all, because here are 24 other things you did not know about TikTok. Obviously, the first thing that you notice when you look at TikTok is, well, their logo. So what does it even mean? It looks like a music note and something in the between. Well, yes, that is a music note, but it also has a hidden meaning, the letter D. But the reason for this bizarre D is because TikTok was never built as their very first vertical platform app. It's because previously TikTok was actually supposed to be based on a company called Douyin. Douyin is a Chinese application, but since the Chinese government likes to censor things, they couldn't actually show a lot of the stuff that is for foreign users onto the Chinese platform. So that's why they created TikTok. So that's where the logo comes from. But one of the most smartest moves that TikTok did was, instead of just creating an app off of nothing and calling it Douyin, they decided to create a new brand, a new TikTok, just for the foreign market. And since they needed the people's attention, they decided to buy Musical.ly, a company that was previously a very much growing company making short vertical form content, and decided to acquire it. And the 18 million people that were already users on the platform suddenly woke up in the next morning and become TikTok users. And that's whether they liked it or they did not. But remember those 18 million people? Because now they are on a platform that is on the way to grow to almost 3 billion users. That is basically half of everyone on Earth. That is absolutely crazy to even talk about. And while there isn't any denying that the creators of the platform are smart people, the same thing can't be said about its users. That's because TikTok users love participating in dangerous challenges that can involve you getting hurt, injured, or even killed. That's because challenge number 1 is one of the most dangerous things I've ever heard in my life. It's your everyday life. You wake up in the morning, you go to a mirror, and what you do is you put rubbing alcohol on the mirror. That already sounds dangerous, but it gets worse, much worse. Because after putting the rubbing alcohol and making a cool pattern with it, you light it on fire. And what happens next is hospital and lots of burns. This even resulted in one teenager getting 35% of their body burned by the fire. This is dangerous stuff. Number 2 is back cracking, a challenge that involves someone getting all the way into your back and cracking your back. And while this might sound fun and it does make a cracking noise, which is very nice, it is also very dangerous, because if you don't do it properly, you will injure someone, and injure them a lot. Number 3 is putting a penny inside of a power socket. This is one of the most dangerous challenges I've ever had in my life, where you put a penny inside or near the power charger until it makes a sudden boom. Now, this has resulted in many people getting electrocuted and going to the hospital. Dangerous. But it doesn't even come close to challenge number 4, which involves you putting lots of salt into your mouth, and after that, making sure to not cough it everywhere and trying to swallow it. Now, this might sound fun, and it does look pretty fun if you look from the outside, because of all the salt coming out from people's nose and mouths and stuff. But it is very secretly very dangerous, because your body can only handle some sodium. It can't handle that much sodium at the same time, and this can result in so many different problems to your body. And last is challenge number 5, which is literally called the skull breaking challenge. A challenge that involves 2 people, actually 3 people, standing while the 2 people jump and the person in the middle jumps after them while they basically do this. That is literally the most dangerous thing I've ever seen in my life. But you know something that's even more dangerous than those challenges? It's their own algorithm. Now, TikTok's algorithm is a very complex thing. It's known to be the most intelligent algorithm in the world. It can do a bunch of things, and here are some. You see, TikTok's algorithm is very much built to get views. It doesn't really matter how many followers you have. It just depends whether your video is engaging or not. And its algorithm can recommend things that are dangerous, like challenges and stuff like that. It also has some other factors that we'll talk about later in the video. But speaking of followers, who do you think has the most following currently on TikTok? Well, it's Khaby Lame, and at the time of recording this video, he has 156 million followers. That is absolutely crazy to even think about. But what is the most viewed TikTok? Well, right now, it is Zach King with his weird Harry Potter illusion thing. Jesus Christ. And who is the most liked one? Well, this one is weird because Khaby Lame deserves to have a lot of followers. He creates some really nice content. Zach King is literally like the most creative creator out there. But at the time of recording this video, it's Bella Poarch with 61 million likes on this monstrosity. Now, all of us have heard this weird AI voice. And we might all think that, oh yeah, this easily, it's computer generated. But in fact, it's actually real. It's recorded by a radio DJ named Kat. And yes, that is her real voice. It's crazy. Now, one of the ways that TikTok manages to be so different from other platforms like Instagram and YouTube is because they don't have a dislike button. And while Instagram has also gotten rid of the dislike button and YouTube Shorts might have also gotten rid of it, TikTok still has a secret way to dislike a video. Simply click this and click that and click this and you can, well, dislike a video. Now, what is mind-blowing about TikTok is that it has a crazy engagement rate. An engagement rate of 18% is absolutely unheard of in the long content platform because most of content here on YouTube gets an engagement rate of only 1.63, while TikTok gets an engagement rate of 18%. That is how many people have liked or done something to the video after watching it instead of just, scrolling. This is absolutely wild. Or did you know that TikTok has some secret emojis? You heard me right, my friend. You can only use these emojis if you actually type them out on the platform. So for example, if you want to comment any of these secret TikTok emojis, you need to put in brackets what emoji you want in text format, and well, you see what happens next. It honestly sounds really cool, and I wish other platforms had something like this as well. Or did you know that you can actually set a TikTok as your wallpaper? I know this might sound crazy, but it is actually in fact true. Now, the way that you do that is actually very simple. You save the video as a live photo, and then with a few clicks, you can set it as your wallpaper. Now, I'm not sure if this can still work in iOS 16 because I haven't tried it myself, but if you do have iOS 15 on your phone, definitely give it a try. It does work. Though one thing I have to note is that if you have an Android, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you do need this app for the function. But on iPhone, you don't need that. Yes, another reason why you should buy an iPhone. But now we're in the top 5, and this is where things get a little bit more serious because TikTok is not all roses and flowers. You see, in 2020, there was this thing going around called TikTok tics. This meant that a lot of teenagers were experiencing lots of videos on the platform and scrolling for many hours on end, 1.5 hours per day for the average user. And this meant that a lot of teenagers started behaving weirdly and behave with tics. And a lot of scientists decided to do some extra research and managed to link TikTok and these tics that teenagers were experiencing during the COVID pandemic to the platform. Now, this was a weird thing, but some people did actually experience TikTok tics. TikTok tics. TikTok tics. Now, I know that might sound funny, but it's not really that funny if you are experiencing it on a daily basis. Now, one thing that is most definitely not funny is your personal data. Because, well, TikTok is literally giving it away. If you're a user on the platform, TikTok is most likely giving away lots and lots of data. And since they do have access to your microphone and your camera, they can either find out how you behave about a certain ad and start to show you that ad even more. This means that TikTok is the one platform with the most data shared with companies. Now, YouTube is alongside TikTok, but most of the data they share is shared with Google. And Google is a lot more trusted than some Chinese company, which doesn't really have a lot of back history for being a good platform. Another thing that is super worrying about the platform is that if you're too ugly, TikTok will ban you. Yes, you heard me right. TikTok will ban you if you're too ugly or too wheelchairy, aka disabled. And this is just getting wild. Yes, TikTok has an algorithm, and its algorithm recommends people who are good looking and, how can I describe it? Sexy, if that makes sense. But it's not good, because if you're trying to still make videos, what are you gonna do if you have lots of acne on your face? For example, this TikToker got literally banned for having too much acne on her face. That is absolutely crazy and something that TikTok should really be ashamed of. Another thing that TikTok should be ashamed of is when, back in 2020, I believe, a live streamer decided to take his own life on a live stream. A suicide happened on the live stream, and TikTok, was watching the live stream, and it watched all that was happening. However, instead of calling the police immediately, calling 911 and trying to get into this guy's house immediately to help him and to get him and report him to the police, they decided to first pile up a nice PR story to cover up the whole thing. This is absolutely brutal and something that they have to be ashamed of a lot more than they are right now. One of the things that I have heard a lot of people say about TikTok is that it likes to sell information that they collect, which, by the way, they sell a lot of to Chinese companies and the Chinese government specifically. It's selling lots and lots of United States resident users to, the Chinese government. Now, this might not be fully true, but there are a few evidences of the Chinese government asking for TikTok, for example, making a fake account to basically do espionage. And while TikTok has said that they've never done this and they've always disagreed with the Chinese government, how can you really trust an app that allows their user to simply die on a live stream? That is absolutely mind-blowing. And now that you know all of this about TikTok, you should also know that TikTok is trying to get banned. Or not trying to get banned, but is getting banned here in North America and in Europe. Here is a quick map on Wikipedia that shows exactly which countries have banned TikTok on their devices. One of the biggest ones is, North America. Both the United States and Canada have officially banned TikTok on their government-owned devices, as well as a few United States that have starting to ban or have banned TikTok on all devices, which is absolutely going fully raged, and lots of people are either supporting it or hating it, really depending on how old are they and how much they've used TikTok in their experience. And some of the other countries that have already banned TikTok are Iran, Afghanistan. China has sort of banned it, but it's because the island is already in use, so you can't really use TikTok in China. And also, India and Australia have banned it on their government-owned devices. There are some other countries that are trying to ban TikTok on all platforms, but right now those are the countries that have banned it, which has absolutely sparked outrage between both its users and the company itself. But that is everything you need to know about TikTok. It's a massive company, and it is absolutely mind-blowing what they're doing with selling the users' data, and I'm not sure what I would think about TikTok. It's kind of a weird thing. Like it's a social media, but at the same time it's more than a social media. It's weird. Let me tell you that. But you know what's not weird? Well, that is our new podcast. The TechFlex podcast is a weekly podcast that you can watch at 4 p.m. on Fridays. You could definitely go check it out right now. And new episodes every single week. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it. And if you didn't like it, then don't like it, because there is a dislike button here on YouTube. But also let us know why you didn't like it, because we want to improve. We actually want to know why you didn't like it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.